This is Dominic Singh at the Whirly Bugger Fly Shop. We're here in day 3 of quarantine tying, and today I'm going to show you a special tungsten nymph that I tie called the Gauntlet. It is a size 10 to 18 tractor nymph pattern using Hannock competition hooks and beads. Really effective fly pretty much all summer, especially good throughout the spring as well. Alright, to start off here, I'm using a size 10 Hannock Jig Superb hook. Has a really nice curve at that point there. And on the hook already I have a 4mm diamond cut Hannock bead, and that's the black nickel color. So you'll see this bead sits pretty high up on that jig, and that really helps to keel this fly and get it down super quick. So I'm starting this thread right behind that slot so I can get that bead in the crook there. The thread I'm using is a UTC 140 denier. And I like to build up a little thread ball that I can slide under that bead first off, like this. Just to get that bead situated right and not rolling around on the shank while I'm trying to tie it. Alright, so now I can bring the thread back there, lay down a good base, and take a small number of pheasant tail fibers. I try to keep the body on this fly fairly sparse. So I'll measure out that tail to about half the length of the hook, not super long. Just a couple wraps to keep it in straight. And then fold the rest back. Now the rib on this fly is what I think makes it so special. This is the Vivis iridescent thread. This is the iris color. Has just a multitude of different colors in there, really reflects light well. Just really interesting stuff, and really durable as well. So as you wrap this, each color of that tinsel is going to show through at a different point on the segment of that body. So I tie in a small strand of that and keep that body fairly level. Build up a bit of a taper up front just with the thread there. And now I'll bring the thread back. Pull that pheasant tail down. And to make this extra durable, what I do is I clip the little flat end there and then twist all the fibers onto the thread. If any break, you can just pull them out. Helps keep the body thin anyway. And now, after you get the first wrap situated there, the rest of them should follow that taper all the way up the body. If you lose one in the process, just hold on to it, lash down again, tie it down smooth. So now I'm going to wrap that tinsel up, just keeping fairly consistent segments on that. If you can see, the different colors are really showing through there on every segment. Tie that up off front. Now I can wrap the thread back to about where the point is on this hook for the thorax. Now for the thorax, I like this large opal mirage tinsel. So what I do with this is I tie it in flat there and then pull on it very gently, and if it locks in, you'll notice that the tinsel will start to change color as it's pulled and warped. Notice it kind of goes to a translucent blue at the base here, and that makes a really unique flash underwater. I think it looks a little bit more like the bubbles that fish are used to seeing on insects as opposed to just a bright tinsel. If you believe that fish are selective on pattern too, it's something that they probably haven't seen. Now for the thorax, just a little bit of hair's dubbing of your choice. This is a dun gray. And I keep this fairly loose, just kind of loosely dubbed on, get it really tight at the base here, and then just trap some fibers in there to keep it really buggy looking and sparse. You can pull a lot of this out. like so. Right, now you can pull that tinsel up. You'll notice that really nice blue hue that it gives that thorax. And trim, leave a very small tag just so it doesn't pull back through. And then I'm going to hit this with some UV resin for added durability. So just apply a small amount. You can move it around with the bodkin. Hit it with the light. Now, the final step, I'm going to take a CDC tuft. This is the dark dun color. You want to look for one with fairly long strands, and you don't want to use the whole thing. I like keeping the collar on this fly fairly sparse, so I'm just going to pull a few of the fibers off and then trim the butts and face them towards the point. And then just very gently hold them, throw a very loose wrap around them, and then move them 360 degrees around that bead. You'll notice as they flare back, you get a really nice looking sparse CDC collar covering that whole fly. That just traps air bubbles and moves around, drives the fish crazy. So at this point, I'm just going to slide my knot in right below that bead. And use a fingernail to dig into it a bit, cover the thread. And trim. And then you'll notice at the very base of this bead that slot's still pretty exposed. So I'm going to take a little more resin and just fill that up with the bodkin. And that way, all of that exposed thread is now covered. You get a really durable nymph. Alright, that is the finished Gauntlet. It's a very, very effective point fly. Sinks really, really fast, gets down high water, good attractor pattern, can imitate a lot of things or nothing at all. Excellent fly on the Yakima River. All materials for this fly can be found at Whirly Bugger. You can call in at the shop or find us online.